Hello, Miami. It is Wednesday, June 12th, 2019, and this is Nothing's Going On, episode 11. I am your host, Rafa, and I am here with the stellar panel. To my left, as always, is Arthur.
Handler. And I'm handling it tonight, Miami.
He's keeping a grip on things.
Watch out. I'm gripping it.
And to his left, a very special guest, Arturo, from Cave of Swimmers and a bunch of other musical projects. You might see him at the corner. You might see him playing with his band.
Arturo.
Hello.
We got Arthur.
Arthur and Arturo.
We're going to try and keep it in line, Miami, tonight.
Yeah, we are. Or you are.
Not like our drivers on our highways. We're going to keep it between the lanes.
All right, let's start how we always start, a little off-the-cuff talk. And I got a couple things here to talk about.
Hit me.
Okay, the first one's kind of serious, kind of a bummer, but I'm going to say it anyway. You guys know about the Citadel? You guys know what the Citadel is? Okay, the Citadel is this kind of...
Crickets.
Okay.
No.
It's this big project they built over in Little Haiti. It's like on 80th and West 2nd, around there, maybe even further north. And it's like one of these food courts things, and they're going to have like events, whatever. It's this giant like developers thing, like let's put this humongous thing here and we're going to make this neighborhood, we're going to revitalize this neighborhood bullshit. I've talked about this on the show.
Right now,
I hate it.
Yeah, I hate it.
But the other day I was at an art opening at Tile Blush, which is right across the street and has been for a good amount of time. It's a little spot there. A pretty good group show if you want to go check that out. And when I was parking, some kids came up and they were like, hey, this is our place. So you usually park like on the side, and it's kind of part of a restaurant but part of another building too. And because of this Citadel thing and all these people coming into the neighborhood and it's like becoming like hoity-toity, these kids are now asking everybody for $5 to park, which is totally their right because their parents own the restaurant and all this stuff. But this only happened because of fucking Citadel, and I fucking hate that type of shit. Like, I've talked about this a million times. Like, how much I hate giant developments.
You say it's their right, but is it a street parking?
No, it's not a street parking.
They're parking in a lot or something.
Yeah, you're parking in an empty lot that is part of their property.
Okay.
It's totally their right, but it just never happened before until, everything.
Did you give it to them?
No, actually, didn't have any cash. Didn't have any cash, and went and found a different place to park. But but it's just like a bummer how things change. Change is inevitable, I know, but these big places, they come and they screw things up a little bit, and that's it. The other thing I wanted to talk about, now that I have you here, and maybe you don't have an idea about this, I was going to actually ask the other, if we get the guys from Cavity on the show and stuff like that, but can you talk to me just a tiny bit about the metal scene?
Yes.
I know
I'd
nothing
love
about
to know
it.
about Metal Miami.
Yeah. What is the deal with... What are you saying? You can't hear me?
He's
No,
just
I
going
can't
like
hear
this
you.
with his hand.
Oh, gotcha. Now I'm chewing gum. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Like
My old lady gets me all the time for smacking. She's like mesophilia or phobia. I don't know.
Swallowed it. No problem. 7 years. Okay.
There you go.
Do you know anything about the scene? Are you in the scene? Would you consider yourself part of it or not?
I have a metal band
Yeah.
that says it's from Miami, but I
Wait,
guess I consider I'm
have-
on the scene. I'm not like a scene.
You have the metal band?
Yeah, I have.
You're
metal band.
in the metal
I'm
band.
in the
Yeah.
metal band. Yeah,
Yeah, all right.
but I don't consider myself like part of the scene of the kind of people that are going out every night seeking metal.
Gotcha.
I'm not even hanging out too much with the metal people.
But what is metal in Miami?
Metal in Miami is great. Like we go on tour and people ask us, "Is like how's the metal scene in Miami?" There's probably nothing, right? Like there's just South Beach and clubs and house music. We're like, no, it's actually a really cool place to hear, to go out and listen to heavy bands. We don't do it much, but when there's stuff going around and what is that? What was that? Places like Las Rosas, Churchill still does it. More so back in the day. Churchill's was very happening with heavy music. Gramps also has a fair share of people that throw metal shows there. But there's there's quite a few good bands. But what makes a scene? Like a few good bands.
Yeah, a
That's
few
really
good bands
what makes a scene.
and a crowd to go see them.
Yeah, I would say it's a dedicated crowd.
Yeah.
And
It's a
like
dedicated
enthusiasts
crowd.
who are
Yeah.
going to go.
People that exactly an audience and a few good bands, But there's a few bands like Holly Hunt. They've been
Yeah.
around for a long time. They've been in a bunch of bands like Floor. Betty. She was in Floor, which is a legendary metal band from here. There's Torch. Those are like the big players. Us, Cave of Swimmers, but there's bands like Shroud Eater, who I don't know what's going on with them. Some of the founding members moved away to North Carolina. But there's a lot of stuff going on.
Do you think the metalhead kind of sees this here as like a healthy scene, or he kind of laments the scene here?
Everybody likes to talk shit about their scene. That's like what happens. Like anywhere you go, it's like, oh, whatever, X town has a great metal scene. You go there and they're like, yeah, it's not that good. Like there's another town that has a better. Oh, or Europe. Oh, Europe is amazing. And then you go to Europe and they're like, oh, Japan, dude. Like, oh, and then you go to Japan and there's like, oh, Russia. Like the grass is always greener.
Gotcha.
But I think we shouldn't complain. Like Miami is great for live music, even though it gets the most crap for
not having it, right?
But come on, like.
There are. Do you think since you've toured and stuff like that, do you think that we have a lack of venues? Even though we do have a lot of shows, do you think that we could have maybe more venues or no? Or that's like other places don't really have that many more.
Having too many venues is not that good either because the crowd gets spread out.
Yeah, you're right.
And then you're in a place like any big city, there's always, if you have too many venues and too many bands, then every time you play, chances are there's like a better band of your same style playing that same night.
Right.
And that's
right.
Whereas I guess that's okay.
Yeah, whereas here they might be on the bill with you.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's like being in New York, like, oh, you have a gig on Monday in New York? Well, guess what? Monday night there's like somebody that plays your kind of music and is way more popular than you, and they're playing that same night. Like you open the paper, it's like, okay, who else is playing? And you're like, okay, so and so.
I got to be honest, when I go to New York, I got like this anxiety, and I don't know if I'm the only one, but it's like at any given moment, at the hippest thing I'm at, there's 100 others.
There's another,
and I'm missing it.
Exactly.
No matter if I'm in the hippest thing going on, there's something I'm missing.
There is something cooler that you should be at, and then you end up feeling bad about it. That's not what it's about. It's really about, having fun.
No, because I asked because you don't think metal when you think Miami, right? You think, I don't know, salsa, bongos,
right?
Suenalo, this type of like fusion type music in Miami. Not that there isn't a metal scene, because there's some heavy music here going on, and there's some good bands out of here actually.
Yeah.
And I remember going to some heavy shows at Churchill's. Not that I wanted to go; I was dragged there, but there was some good stuff going on. And it was kind of cool to know this is going on in our town, but you don't really think of Miami as a metal town. It's more like maybe somewhere in Texas or L.A. or something like that.
What's cool about metal is it's really everywhere. Like metal has become, it is kind of a folk music, but it's kind of now like almost becoming kind of a classical music.
Right.
Because it's just like it's getting old. Really.
Isn't there heavier stuff post-metal now?
Is not a new genre, but it's still.
Isn't there heavier stuff post-metal now?
Yeah. Well, exactly. Metal keeps developing, but it's not on the mainstream. Like metal used to be, it's like a few metal bands in the 80s and 90s would fill up an arena.
Right.
It's really, or like 2 metal bands would fill up an arena, 3 metal bands. Now you have to like get a festival with, 30 bands. So it's kind of become like something that's moving parallel to whatever's going on, but it's on the sidelines, So you have like those devoted people that are they love metal, they always love metal. And
what do you see as, being from Miami and being a metalero, what's the
metalier?
Thank you. I'm evolving here. What's the future of metal in Miami?
Future?
Miami, what?
I've always heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the scene, the music that Miami produces is a little less, what's the word?
Serious?
No, not serious. Like held down by the
standards.
The standards, yeah. that in other places that they're much more like, oh, metal's got to be this way, and that's the only way.
No, Miami's got
And Miami,
a vortex
and Miami
of,
being
we'll do it
here
our own
can
way,
be a little
right?
bit,
Yeah.
can be a little more loosey goosey. But I don't know if that's
Sure.
true.
Well, Miami's very unique, but then so is some other big cities.
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
unique. So whatever unique experiences that people have in this town, like from wherever they're from, they draw that into their music and into their scene, and hopefully it'll be a good future.
Cool.
Yeah.
So anything happening to you driving on those mean streets, Arthur Ashe?
Fishing sucks. Summer's too hot already. Am I the only one who's sweating in May here? I'm on fire on the street, and
Yeah, so it's finally that kind of like
yeah, I don't believe in this global warming, but it's sure getting hot, man. Hotter and hotter and quicker, and
it's that time of year when you don't know if
Yeah,
it's the
the
humidity or your own sweat. You know? It's like a little bit of both.
So it's fishing. This sucks. The art scene's heating up, actually.
I actually have something written down here.
Yeah, we're super busy, man. There's a lot of stuff going on this year, and it's an odd year. It's coming up on an election year, and typically art is sensitive to the election cycles because the collectors don't buy until they know who's going to be the president, and they get an idea what the financial
that's
atmosphere is
interesting.
going to be. Oh, yeah, for sure. In election year, the art sales usually suck because people are holding on to their dough. They want to know who's it going to be. And then if it's going to be pro investment, then they blow their dough. But it's it's been a tough year. It's been we had a real tough us off the cuff. We had a very tough art handling spring, but it's very strange because summer, which is traditionally death for us, we're booked. Solid. I mean, I can't pack any more in, man.
The rebound. That's good to hear.
It's
Good for
good.
you.
Yeah, no, it's very
Right.
good.
Okay, let's move on. If you don't have any chispas stuff to talk about, let's go right into the news. What's going on in Miami? Start something light here. The Miami Beach Chamber of Commerce had a little party. They had their annual gala. It was 2 weeks ago on Saturday, and they hired how many? I don't know how many. They hired a bunch of midgets for their thing because they had a Dr. Seuss theme, and
Aren't we
they were
supposed to
dressed
call
as
them
like
little people?
Thing 1 and Thing 2.
Oh boy!
Can you
Sorry,
say midget
little-
on the radio?
I still
On
like
this
the
show,
word
yeah.
midget because it makes me laugh, and I guess that's bad. But okay, yeah, little people. But anyway, people got mad that they hired little people to play little people, and they were dressed up as like Dr. Seuss characters hanging out. And
Don't tell me the cultural sensitivity has gotten so bad it's reached down here to Miami where people got freaked out about it.
well, only in hindsight when people saw the pictures. I don't think anybody cared at the party.
Oh, Christ.
So what do you think? Do you hire little people to play little people? Is it offensive to, like, imagine you had a Willy Wonka party. Is it offensive to hire little people to call
My
to
gut
Humpty
is-
Dumpty to play the Oompa
My gut is
Loompas?
since the Munchkins in Wizard of Oz is that little people, they're little. And that's going to be their lot in life. And if they get acting jobs based on it, did you ever hear the stories? There's a documentary about Wizard of Oz. I don't know if you ever heard it.
Wait.
But apparently they hired hundreds to be the Munchkin extras.
Okay.
And in the Munchkin trailer extra village, apparently there was all sorts of debauchery going on, and between the little people, there's a documentary out there about it. Makes you think, All
right. Do you think it was short-sighted for this event company to get little people to play the thing, or it's fine if the little people want to play the thing and they play the thing? Or what do you do if you want somebody to play a short person? I don't know. Like,
I want to go back to a time where we can make dirty jokes, where we can be risque. I don't want to have the
well, you
thought
can, but you
pol-
can't. Sometimes
No, I
you
don't
can't
want
do
to
it
have.
like in.
I don't want to have the thought police anymore, where everything's got to be so politically correct that we can't offend anybody.
Okay, wait. Okay, how far back do you want to go? 1945, 1941? Do you want to go back there, or
20s.
1920s.
I'm just saying there are things that are taboo, and now maybe there's things that are just a little more taboo, and so, I don't know. It's
a tough one. I try to stay out of my personal politics, especially on this show. But I think we've gone a little too far. I think we've gone way too far.
If you are the event planner, do you do a Dr. Seuss thing with thing 1 and thing 2? I don't know if I would.
I think it could be okay, but it's this climate now, you know, and I think hopefully it's eclipsing. But there's this climate now where you can't tell jokes anymore. You can't tell funny stuff because you got to. You can't do it.
You can't do it.
You got to please everyone. That's like nobody can be.
Do you know all these big time comedians?
You can't do it in
quit
public.
Going to college campuses because everyone.
Yeah, but that's not here. I'm talking about
be offended.
That doesn't happen to me when I go out here. I don't know. People still say.
Can we still be offensive in Miami?
You can, but you can't do it, like on TV in Miami, because then it's on TV and it's affecting, it's a lot of people listening. You're offending a lot
What
of people. As
about
opposed
this
to
show?
If you're on if nobody's listening now, so if you're,
I got a list.
but I don't know if I would throw the event with the little people as actors.
I think is it short-sighted culturally and politically? Yeah, perhaps in this era,
But at the same time, maybe it's not offensive. Maybe it's not offensive to get a little person who wants to act as a smaller person.
Is it funny?
What do they think? What do the little people think?
So that's the worst part. There's no reactions in the press
no
from
reaction, right?
from them.
Yeah.
No, they like the jobs.
They want to
man.
get some work,
they
man.
want exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's been the history. Is they're kind of maligned and marginalized anyway. And so if they can make a buck, and use it to their advantage, I think they're all for it. I mean, I don't know. I'm not one. I mean, I'm a big person. I'm a very tall person. But I know that going back to the Wizard of Oz documentary, these people, they got work where they wouldn't normally have gotten it.
Right.
Okay, but that's.
But my question is, who's the planning official in this who decides, like, hey, this will be the theme? And then, worse, who signs off on it and says, oh, yeah, that's great, let's do this? That's got to be a little short-sighted.
Like, yeah.
I would be putting that job open for a new hire.
I'm trying to think of other things that you could have a theme about that would be kind of on this same teetering edge that's not totally, it's not. It seems like right on the edge of being between, making somebody feel bad and not. But I can't off the top of my head right now. Probably should have written that down before I started the show.
You suck, dude.
No, you don't.
So, okay. Well, that's what happened in Miami Beach. Somebody got fired. Anyway, let's move on. I got this. Oof, this one's heavy. Let's go to something light.
Are we getting heavy early?
No. I thought that was going to be funny because it was midgets, but I guess it wasn't that funny. You guys ever ride the bus? You ever ride the bus? Have you ever tried to ride the bus for a commute?
I haven't ridden the bus in Miami since probably 1992.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I haven't been on a bus in Miami though.
Wow.
Or even the Metro Rail.
Or
What
even
was that?
He's got his little soundboard, but it's always late every single time.
It takes me a while. I used to ride the bus and the train religiously.
Okay.
Back in late 90s, early 2000s to get to work. And I went to, I was always on call at different places, and I made it work, And I rode the bus and the train, and it was a killer experience, man, because I like New York. And I like riding the subway there. I've been on the tube in London, and the best that I've ever been on is the metro in Paris. Is a knockout, and I wish we were a real enough town
to have something like that.
To have something.
Well,
the Metro Fail.
Let me tell you,
should have gone north and south and
east and west.
It should have gone west from FIU along the 836 out to Miami Beach.
Yeah.
And that would have been killer. And I loved it. You know what I did when I rode the bus? I read books and I talked to my neighbors because invariably I was always in the same schedule. And if I made the right train, I was on the same train with the people who lived in my neighborhood, and it was really cool. Everybody bought books.
Just quickly, how long was your commute on these buses?
Oh, God bless. It was over an hour, man. It was horrible. It was terrible.
And how long would it have been in a car?
Yeah, we're the same.
All right,
But I
well,
would have been by myself, burning my own gas and paying for parking.
Yeah.
So on the train,
So-
you paid $2.50 back. I think when I stopped, you ride with your neighbors, you talk with them, or if you're not on the same bus and train with them, you read or you flirt with chicks.
So okay, let me tell you what's going on here
A lot of
because
chicks, man.
the buses are consistently late in Miami. If you ever have to take a bus, it's really bad. There's no GPS on the buses or anything like that, so you can't open an app and see where the bus is. So you're just sitting there like in the heat right
Yeah,
now.
that's terrible.
Imagine right now sitting at like noon. Well, you wouldn't be there at noon, but whatever. 9 a.m. waiting for a bus. You don't know when it's coming. It's supposed to be here already, and then it's like 30 minutes later or whatever. Anyway, there is this. There's these people called the Transit Alliance, and they are a group who set it upon themselves to fix transit in Miami as a kind of personal project. Okay, and they got funding and all this kind of stuff, and they finally got approval to revamp the bus system. They're going to scrap, ideally, from what their big things are. They're going to scrap all the routes and redo them all. So right now, there's a lot of bus routes that like snake through different streets, and they're all kind of screwed up. And these guys have this big plan, sponsored by Miami-Dade and all this stuff, that they're gonna fix it. It's called the Better Bus Miami Project, betterbus.miami if you want to check it out and help out. And by 2020, they hope to have they say they will have the plan on the table for Miami-Dade to implement. And Miami-Dade says they are going to implement this. And it should fix the buses. I really want public transport to work in Miami because, I don't know, I mean, sometimes I grab Ubers and stuff like that. Why wouldn't I just grab a bus? I've used the trolley system. Have you guys ever ridden one of those trolleys?
No.
So the difference between a trolley and a bus is that, number one, the trolleys are Miami-Dade runs the buses, and the cities run the trolleys. So like City of Miami, Miami Beach, whatever. The trolleys are free, and they go on very limited routes. But when they work real well. Like I took one from South Beach to Mid Beach, and it was just you get on, free, boom, you're there. Obviously cheaper than an Uber, just as fast. And to think that Miami could run like that for every kind of commute is something, man.
We're not
Yeah,
going to do anything unless we got trains, man.
That's what they are doing. Another part of this project, but this isn't it. This Better Bus Miami project is looking into this, but they're not getting hung up on it because it requires infrastructure. Is the rapid transit. Do you know how rapid transit works?
What is that?
The bus rapid transit. They have this in a lot of cities. Colombia, I know, has a really expansive one in Bogota. The bus gets its own dedicated lanes, not like the ones down south. They're dedicated lanes. It pulls up to the station, and it's like getting on the metro. You go through a little line, and you have to be like waiting there. And once the bus gets there, it's like a little pipes everybody in. It's almost like getting into a train, but it's a bus. The bus gets priority over all the stoplights, so it just goes right through them. And they just make dedicated lanes in different corridors so that the bus goes really fast. And it's kind of like a train, but it costs way less.
Well, they did a study a million years ago, and it was that the trolleys and the buses were still subject to the same street traffic. And if there's a big
That's the problem.
kerfuffle,
They still get stuck, of course, and that's why
Right.
they're always late now.
You got to have trains.
Yeah.
We need trains, and Miami wants to be a big city, and everybody knows that we're like in L.A. We're mired in traffic. Not as bad as L.A. I would never go out to that West Coast, but it's pretty bad, and we're getting that bad. And I commute, and it's getting bad every year. But if we had some serious, but there's not the political will, because you're talking to some serious, past your career as a politician type project.
Yeah.
That if you want to get reelected and you want to feather your nest and make a name for yourself, public transportation is a graveyard.
Plus, who rides public transport?
Right, exactly.
Poor people.
Right.
More or less. And in Miami, it's seen as there's this kind of thing of looking down on people who ride public transit. So it kind of never.
Whoa, excuse me. Out of Colorado, the haven of progressiveness, I'm getting some pretty, anti-cultural discussion of why our problem is. It has to do with cultures here.
Oh, you think it's
Yeah,
that's what they're saying.
That's what they're saying.
It's the Latin culture that makes
Latin
it
culture,
makes it like that.
Thank you, Colorado. We don't care how you do it out there. And by the way, last time I checked, in that town, there's no public transportation.
I don't know if it's that.
I don't know. I want to be optimistic about public transportation in a city like Miami, but I have a really hard time. Same thing about being optimistic to many cities in America. For example, cities that are Is that your phone? Okay.
That's Colorado.
LA, for example, cities that
are already
car-based, and there's a reason for it. I've been thinking about it, and it's because people in certain cities and in the U.S. and Europe too, like once you have land, once you live in a house and you live in a neighborhood that is a residential neighborhood, and everybody has a house with some kind of plot of land, makes things very spread out. It's not as densely populated, so it's harder. Like the distances get bigger and bigger and bigger. So let's say, like the main road, that's where the bus runs. But then just to get to your house, like if you're in a residential neighborhood, like, you have to walk sometimes like up, you know what I'm talking about, right?
You might have to walk like 6 or 7 blocks
or more
just to get,
or more
to get
10
out of
blocks, and our blocks are long.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, you need to add like an extra 20 minutes of like sweating.
Yeah.
And in like a smaller city or like a place where you just have buildings, like in Europe or, even in Europe, like as soon as you get out of the city that is not as densely populated, everybody has cars.
Yeah.
Like, you can take a train to a city, but then you have to like take a taxi or something.
Yeah.
Like you can't.
Well, they did a thing because when I first started riding the bus and the train, I used to stand up on the buses when they were late, and I would hand out the phone number that I had researched for the transit director for the county, and I would read it out, and I was like, "We don't have to put up with this. Call this guy. We gotta blah 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 blah. We gotta make our voice heard." And we would call in and complain, and people were like, "Yeah, let's do it." And the reality is like the people aren't going to answer. The secretaries aren't going to answer, but you can complain up to.
Yeah. So wait. Were you doing were you taking the bus all the way from Kendall, from out there in Kendall?
We call it the K-hole. And, I was going from K-hole to downtown religiously, man.
Gotcha.
Religiously.
Ooh. And
we would get on, and when they were late and there was a big mess up, we would really scream about it, man. And we even started a little campaign to, like, try and call in and do all this. And then I found out, what their test model was? The old lady with the ice cream. If una vieja con una torta, goes to the supermarket and buys a gallon of ice cream, can she make it home without it being melted? And that, you laugh, but that's their measure of how well the system works. Mm-hmm. Because can you, as a vieja, go and buy ice cream and get home without a mess in your bag?
Right. Or your meat being spoiled or whatever.
Because the truth of the matter is you're going to wait up to half an hour for a bus on a hot, and I mean hot this time of year, street, and then you're going to walk home, and that's why public transportation doesn't work here. This is a much bigger issue than we're going to tackle on this show, but if we wanted to be a real city, which we desperately want to do, we got to have some real public transportation,
But he was saying the residential neighborhoods prohibit that, and he's right.
Of course.
You know what sucks? If
you
can
have it in like central Miami, like downtown and like midtown, and like, but even you get to like anywhere that's residential. Once you get out of once you move into suburbia, once you're in suburban land, like is very hard. You can have it.
Yeah, and walking those 10 blocks. So walking 10 blocks in a densely populated city where there's like commerce and stuff like that, and
it's
you see
different.
people, it feels different than walking around a residential neighborhood and just being like bored as shit and and
you feel like you're a part of something.
Yeah,
you see people walking all
exactly.
the time, like different types of people. It's not like
it's not just walking down an empty neighborhood,
right?
Like this sucks.
But so then it was explained to me as we went further in this campaign was City of Miami Beach doesn't want people hanging out at midnight to 2 a.m. who can get out there for $2.50. Caller from Colorado, go ahead.
Turn it up and put him right on the front there, like where you're talking.
Hold on 1 second, caller.
Put it on speaker.
Let me see if I can do this right.
Put it on speakerphone.
Transit.
Caller from Carbondale, Colorado. Go ahead.
So you're never going to get people who really need the public transit to those, low income to really have enough clout or leverage to make it happen.
That's exactly why Miami doesn't care, because the people who pay for the.
You're screwed for the next few generations. So it's never going to happen.
well, thank you.
You may as well go Venice, the route of Venice. Pretty soon you're going to need boats to go down canals. This one's just going to be one.
Well, we've got plenty of canals here.
That's the dream.
Colorado. What part of Colorado are you calling from there, sir?
I'm calling from the mountains. The high Rockies.
Yeah, that's what I heard. You guys are all high out there. Thanks a lot. Next caller.
All right, let's move on because I'm tired. We always talk about traffic and it goes nowhere. I just wanted to say that they're going to try and fix the buses, all right? Betterbus.Miami if you're interested in participating in that. I sent them an email asking if they're going to put GPSs on the buses, and they never got back to me. All right, let's go into Miami New Times put out their Best of Miami list this week. I'm not sure when it came out, but I saw it today, and I figured we can go through some of these bests and, comment on them or such. So first we want to give a big shout-out to Las Nubes, who got Best Band in Miami.
Las Nubes?
So there's a connection here because, Las Nubes is because Arturo's wife plays for the band, and they got Best Band in Miami. I wonder what that does for the band. I hope it causes something.
I think it's a big deal.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's good.
Do you know how they pick that stuff? I don't have no idea.
I have no idea.
It's cool. So I have no contention with that, actually. I will say that there are some bands that I thought, do you know Donzi?
Oh, yeah.
You know Donzi?
Oh, no, I thought you meant Fugazi.
No. Do you know Donzi?
I know Donzi. Yeah.
Okay. I was putting them up there for...
Donzi makes boats.
No, it's a band called Donzi. Anyway, let me look at some of this other stuff. And
did Donzi get anything?
No, they didn't. They didn't get even an honorable mention. I will tell you something that I thought was hilarious is that you read the article about Las Nubes, which is great, awesome. Ever since they formed, I've been keeping tabs and going to the shows and stuff like that. Always good. But at the bottom of the article, it says, Reader's Choice, Locos por Juana.
Oh, Locos por Juana. A million years ago, they filmed a video at one of the galleries that we used to work at. And we had to make a big deal of setting up the gallery, cleaning it up, and getting it all prepped because they were renting it for the video. And they kicked holes in the wall.
So
I never heard their music.
I have this horrible bias against them. It's just I'm so tired of that sound being defining for Miami. And the kind of rapping over reggae sound. Do you know who I'm talking about? Do you know this band? Yeah, of course you do. Okay. And so I think it's hilarious. I mean, they're obviously popular. Maybe they should, I don't know. I don't know what to think. I guess I'm going against what Miami really feels. But they got Reader's Choice for Best Band. I would never, ever give them... maybe at the beginning. Maybe at the beginning I would have given them such an award. But now, it's like they don't evolve. They've been playing the same songs, the same exact sound for so long. It's like a band with that doesn't evolve.
Isn't that the formula if you want to get big? You got to pump it, pump it, and pump it.
The same exact thing?
I don't know. Cave of Swimmers, help us out here.
Dude, AC/DC.
Yeah.
It worked for
They
them.
just they honed in the basic elements of the music and they never went anywhere else. It's just, but it's to make something simple so good, you got to kind of strike gold. But
yeah. Because AC/DC had
Iron Maiden, same thing. Like they have, there's different.
Yeah,
but
you're right.
But they don't. They're not like risk takers. They don't take chances. Like it's the same art on the cover, the same. All their songs are the same. All the songs, like except for a few like instrumentals here and there, but they all like they write the same song every time. You know, it's like the same format, like an intro, a this and that, some solos, the end. It's like it works for them. Like they don't have any haters. Like nobody hates Iron Maiden. Like maybe some people like there you go. Yeah, they're like some people might be like I can't stand them, but people that are like into heavy music, they're like, dude,
Iron Maiden.
Iron Maiden is huge. It's like it's legendary. Even if you think whatever they might, if you think they're silly or what, but you gotta like give it to them. Slayer, same thing. Like they don't have any haters. They just kept. They're just true to what they do, and I don't know. Locos por Juana might be onto something.
Maybe.
Right?
I really.
I hope so.
Me too. Yeah, I really don't like that band. I don't have anything against them personally, but
Locos por Juana?
yeah, I cannot handle their sound. And
I've never heard anything of theirs.
Oh, it's a guy who raps sometimes in Spanish over a kind of reggae beat with the band. I mean, it's a full band. It's cool. Like they play. They're talented guys and whatever, but I don't know. And I would go as far as to say that he is not good enough to be the front man. I don't know. He can't sing. The guy can't I don't know. I'm being a dick right now, okay? But
I'll take your word for it.
It's your show.
Somebody's got to say
Talk
it.
shit if you
I'll
want.
take your word that you're being a dick.
But anyway, that was the reader's choice. I take an issue with that. Let me read you guys some more. There's a lot of, best radio station, Vibe 92.7.
Never heard of them.
It's all right. It's, they do like all, the old school hip hop.
Garbage.
It's still commercial, and they play the same old school hip hop song. It's like, they play Juicy like 1,500 times a day.
I don't even know what that is.
Notorious B.I.G.
No, but I got two boys.
Wait, this is even better.
And these kids are singing rap. My little boys. It's horrible.
You're hilarious.
No, it's the worst thing in
Why?
Honestly.
It's what's hot, man.
No,
I hope it's just
my kids are like singing this garbage and I can't even. I try not to cuss on this.
At least it's not. Locos por Juana. Reader's choice for best radio station Y100. Jesus Christ.
Oh, they just got the numbers.
They play the hits, dude.
So
they got the numbers.
If I was the Best of Miami New Times guy, it sucks, but you have to alternate best radio station if you're doing only FM between WVUM and WDNA. That's it. That's all the only ones in contention. Maybe when they started the Shake 108 guys, because they kind of brought a little something
Shake
different.
108 was my favorite. Bro,
Of course it was.
I loved Shake 108. Those guys were awesome, and they switched to another frequency. They were originally 107.9, and then they switched to another frequency, and I actually happened to pick them up when they were off. Shake 108. Please come back. I loved you guys. I loved those guys.
Of course you did.
They were excellent.
It's a nice
and I hate most of the music they play, but I love the fact that they didn't censor it.
Oh, gotcha.
Great.
Yeah, so if I was it sucks to pick the same stations all the time, but they're the only ones pushing anything new. I guess this Vibe 92, it did come out of nowhere playing old school hip hop, which people do like, and it was missing. Did you guys ever go to the Garrett on top of in the back of the station? God damn it, the venue that was Grand Central. Okay, Grand Central. And had a little room that was like upstairs, and they would play old school hip hop nights and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And those were pretty cool. And so this putting old school hip hop on the radio is a novel idea. Okay, I'll give it to them. Reader's choice, Y100, horrible pick. Y100 is just garbage commercial pop music all the time.
That's what we're fighting against.
But it's not interesting. I don't know.
That's what this show is trying to be a blossoming bud in the ground in fertile soil. No.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Do you feel the same about all the Reader's Choice?
What the hell is Reader's Choice?
I think there's a pattern. There's a pattern here.
Best Latin Club, La Victoria, with the Reader's Choice being El Patio in Wynwood. I don't really have an opinion on that one. Do you guys?
I don't even know what Reader's Choice is.
Do you have an opinion on best Latin club?
I don't think I've been to a Latin club. Ball and Chain, I heard, is cool.
Ball and Chain's cool.
Yeah, it's all right. All right.
I was at Oy Como Ayer. I was at Oy Como Ayer once. There was some hip chicks there. Some cool music.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was down. I mean, it was really killer.
That one's the classic.
Yeah, Oy Como Ayer was very Miami. It was very hip. They had a great scene. The music was like one of those ones where the music really drives the night. It really like pumps the scene, and the chicks are into it. Yeah, absolutely.
You do the lambada over there or the tango? What do you do over there?
What's a lambada?
Best live music venue, the Olympia Theater.
Don't know where that is.
What?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful in there. Like it's very classic. It's very Miami.
Have you seen any bands
legendary.
in there?
I've seen I've seen a couple of bands. I saw Julieta Venegas a few years ago, and I saw Sonny Rollins, jazz.
Sonny Rollins,
jazz
no way.
giant in like a few, like 2005 ish.
Oh wow.
And I like it. I don't go there all the time.
Yeah, well, it depends on who's playing, right?
Yeah. What's Reader's Choice?
The Fillmore.
The Fillmore. Okay.
Yeah, the hell.
They're both good venues.
Choice.
Yeah.
We should do Nothing's Going in Miami choice
What's your choice?
of live music.
Yeah.
Miami's kind of like sucking for live music. I think we got to build it.
What are you talking about?
Well,
we're on fire.
That's
We're
true.
just talking about it. The metal scene's on fire. Every scene,
metal scene's on
The
fire.
indie scene's on fire. And every time I go to a show, I have a good time. What are you talking about, man?
No, you're absolutely right. I should totally retract that statement, and I shall at a further date. But I don't get out much. Is Miami really known for live music?
Doesn't matter what we're known for.
Are we in Austin?
We're known for like fake tits and dance clubs.
Right. Are we Austin?
That's what we're known for. Whatever. That's
we
what's
in
on TV.
Nashville,
It doesn't
you know?
matter. No, we're not any of those things.
No, but we should be. Because
Yeah.
listen. I think there's some great crossover fusion bands down here, like Swinalow and these types that like want to really make something out of a Miami. I'm all for like let's create a Miami sound,
Okay.
even a Miami metal sound.
But Miami's got its sound. It's just more in the Latin realm. Like the thing about Miami and like the or I guess local acts or like the Miami scene is that is different than in LA or New York. For example, there's a lot of national or international acts that are in LA. They're based out of LA or New York. Here in Miami, there are huge acts that are, national and international, but those acts are in the Latin.
Yeah.
For like English speaking acts, if you want to be a musician, like I'm talking from the musician standpoint, if you want to be a side musician, you want to play with a big artist. In Miami, unless you want to go the Latin route, it is pretty hard.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be in like an English speaking or even an instrumental or whatever in Miami, it's not. I don't want to say it's not your scene, but it's hard. Like you might as well go somewhere else. It's tough for the English scene. Yeah.
That's like when Jesse left when he went to go play
if
with
you
the
want to
other-
be like a reggaeton producer, like you stay here.
yeah.
Like you want to get your videos played at the reggaeton. It's huge. Like and these people are making ripples. Like reggaeton is international.
Mhm.
So
It's almost the biggest thing going on right now.
yeah, Despacito was recorded here. So there you go.
All right. But this is better than telling you. I'm going to ask you guys, what's the best venue for local acts? I
would say Churchill's.
I still think it's Churchill's.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the bands like playing it as much as they like playing.
No, some years
Roses.
ago I was there for Devious Semantics. You ever hear of those dudes?
Nope.
Yeah, they're like I don't know, they were hardcore or something.
And,
That's cool.
and then you turned 18 and you stopped going?
No, that was like 10 years ago, man. My old lady dragged me there.
What's your favorite venue to play? If there is one.
Favorite
Or it
venue
just
to play.
Kind of just depends on the night.
I like playing at the corner,
Oh, yeah.
even though I hate it. I hate it at the same
Yeah.
time. I
Because
love
it's
it and
cramped
hate
and
it.
stuff.
But I like it. When it's good, it's really good.
Gotcha.
Like when it's vibing, it's
Yeah.
vibing. Like I like playing
I gotta say, I'm a longtime fan of the Corner. I've been there. We helped them build their scene, physically, not culturally. We actually helped them, and I know the owners. They're great guys. And I've never really been there. I've been there for some DJs, Suicide that we know, but I've never been there for a live band.
Mm-hmm.
And I never even crossed my mind in a million years that they would play live music there. I mean, I guess that's
should come on Tuesday, jazz night.
Yeah, jazz is on Tuesday, but it starts late.
Yeah, I know. Everything at the Corner starts at 4 o'clock in the morning, you know, and it goes till like 10 o'clock the next day. I work and I got kids. I can't do that.
One day, let's do it, dude. Get a hall pass and let's go hard, Artie.
We'll get a little blow and I'll send the kids out of town. You know, we'll go.
All right. So here it says best venue for local acts, the North Beach Band Shell.
They've been doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah. The Rhythm Foundation is always putting stuff in there, and they get a lot of great acts that you have to kind of go on a leap of faith that because they are good, they're good bookers, but you won't know half the bands that they're booking, you know, because they get a lot of international stuff that it's probably, I mean, it's unlikely that you're going to know it. Yeah, Rhythm Foundation.
They're good.
Yeah, they're good.
Rhythm Foundation pulls consistently good stuff, man. We did a show with them some years ago.
So this is funny. I haven't been here, and I like a good jazz night. Best jazz night. Years ago, I would have said the Corner.
The Corner got best jazz night a few years ago. Like 4 years ago, I think.
Well, Wednesday night at
when
Titanic.
we were there,
Titanic used to be good
all the time. That's where we met. For sure.
Who got it?
Pub 52 in South Miami. Do you know it?
I haven't been there.
Oh, then it must not be that.
No,
good.
you got to check out Titanic, the old famous Titanic.
Like
the Titanic on Saturday nights is blues, and it was really good. I mean,
that place is legendary.
Packed house. Albert Castilla. You'll never get to the. You can't make your way to the bar.
You like karaoke there, Artie, or Artie? Artie too?
Not a fan of karaoke.
No, neither of you.
And
best karaoke bar? I only go to 2 karaoke bars.
I don't think I've ever been to one. And if you ever
Really?
catch me in one, shoot me on spot.
Well,
on
not
the site.
You never been to Seven Seas?
Oh, I know Seven Seas.
Have you been to Jada Cole's?
Who?
Jada Cole's?
How that Cole is?
No.
Yeah. Oh man, well that's a shame. Both of them
There's a Korean restaurant in
because we're
Korean
talking.
barbecue
that does karaoke.
It does karaoke. It's up north somewhere. Man, where is it? I want to say Dania Beach or maybe not as far as Davie.
Okay.
And it's cool. It's cool. People, it's a great.
The
it's
Asian
a great
community
vibe.
is huge on karaoke, man. They're
Yeah.
big, as we all know. I think karaoke is a Japanese word, right?
It's fun. It's fun.
Well, best karaoke bar is a place called Sweet Caroline Karaoke Bar, and that sounds horrible.
It's the biggest karaoke song of all time.
Yeah, which is a horrible one to hear at the karaoke bar. Whoever picks that, you're just like, get out of here, dude. All right, let's see what else we got here. Artie, got this one for you. What's your favorite gay bar?
Never been to one.
Really?
That I'll admit to.
Well, according to the New Times, it's Hotel Gathering.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Reader's Choice, Twist, the classic.
Oh, Twist in Miami Beach.
The classic.
Yeah, I never been there, but a billion years ago we were hanging out with a bunch of chicks. And they had a gay buddy. He was on fire, and nice guy, I would imagine. And everybody was trying to decide at the house, hey, where are we gonna go after partying at the apartment? Well, let's go to Twist and dance. And all of us, all the strangers, were like, there's no reason to go there for us, so we're not going there. Oh, it'll be a fun time. Yeah, no thanks.
You have a favorite coffee shop? Nope. A favorite coffee window?
Aries.
Oh, the one on 27th?
Mary's Laundry.
Yeah, I got a favorite coffee window. I got 2. One is La Juguera on 57th, off of Miller and 102. La Juguera. El 1102, muy buena. It's excellent, La Juguera. They're like a competitor with one of these bigger Palacio de los Jugos.
Okay.
But La Juguera is the shot, man. It's really good. And the Ventanita is excellent. The second one, it's not All Day Cafe. It's got a good one. They're not traditional, but they got a good Ventanita. You can get some good stuff out of there.
People like that place a lot. I've never been because I'm just not there in the mornings.
Oh, All Day Cafe, man.
That's the one next to Corner, you know.
Yeah, dude. I've blown them. They're not cheap, but they're good. You know why? Because all their ingredients are like resourcefully sourced. Is that a thing? And they're holistic and organic and all those other good verbs that we throw on things. that they make it. It's pretty decent.
All right.
Has this show devolved to a phone scrolling show?
Well, I'm looking at the topics here, the best of the new times, and they say that the best coffee place is a place called Sable Coffee.
Versailles? No.
I don't know the. I've never been there. Reader's Choice, Panther Coffee. Of course it is.
Never been. I think it's trendy. I think it's only getting listed because it's trendy.
Then this thing, like, they have way too many of these things because they have like best donut. How many donut places are there to win this thing? You know,
I never even knew. My brother texted me from Colorado, and he's like, "Hey, you got to check out Mojo Donut. It's National Donut Day." I didn't even know there was a National Donut Day. And then he said, "Go to Mojo Donut." And now there's on Red Road in US 1, there's a new Three Chefs where it used to be a Wendy's, and now it's a Mojo Donut.
There's no more Wendy's?
On that one right there. It's not a Wendy's no more. It's Three Chefs, and they're partnering with Mojo Donut. And now Mojo Donut, I don't even know what the hell Mojo Donut is. There's another one called the Salty Donut. Where the hell did we see that?
That's the one that won the thing.
Where is that?
I'm going to say Gables.
I shut off my phone, so I don't know exactly where it is, but I think there was one in Wynwood, and I think they moved out of Wynwood, if I'm correct.
There's another one we passed by. It was called the Salty Donut. We're looking at it we're not going to eat there. Uh-oh.
He's looking
sorry.
it up. He's looking it up.
Sorry, I'm doing something
Sorry,
else
we got
right
some
now.
dead space here.
Yeah,
Shall
no.
I sing?
So
and
sorry. Don't look at me when you see me doing that kind of thing. You know, you guys talk
just
amongst
bust
yourselves.
out into the song. Are you ready?
We're just gonna.
You're a singer,
You
right?
sing that, I'll sing another one at the same time.
No.
1, 2, 3. Sweet
Caroline, dun dun dun. Sometimes always seems so something.
I thought you were gonna do "We'll Always Love You," and then I was gonna do a different one.
Well, okay, let's do "Sweet Caroline." I'm a big Neil. He's not
Diamond.
Neil Young. Neil Diamond. You know he was tribal. It's from my tribe.
All right. So what I was gonna say, best band, Las Nubes, and we're moving on to calendar.
Ooh,
and
are we already there?
Yeah, best band in Miami, Las Nubes, according to the New Times. And I don't have anybody to say. I don't have a disagreement with that. But I will go and say that we're moving on to calendar, and Las Nubes is doing their album release show, right? Tomorrow at a place called, this is the part that I don't know.
The Bridge.
The Bridge, that's it. And it's right a couple blocks north of here.
Mm-hmm.
So check that out. It starts technically at 7 p.m., but you know nothing starts at 7 p.m. But doors are at 7.
But
7 p.m. is bait in Miami.
Yeah, it's not gonna be a crazy late show. It's not. They're not gonna go on at midnight. You know,
okay.
It's early. It's family friendly, and they got a bunch of stuff there. Like they have, it's not your regular show. They're throwing a party.
Okay, awesome.
So there's I don't want to give it away, but there's surprises. There's there's cool stuff.
Awesome. So check that out. The best band in Miami.
Yeah.
That's tomorrow. Let me see what else I have written down here. On Friday, you got Hilltronics and Mr. Jolt at Corner. Got to plug the old radio station here, Jolt Radio.
Jolt Radio's going to be at the corner?
Mr. Jolt himself will be at the corner with Hillary, who used to bartend at the corner until she took her DJing full time, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And she's
Good
killing
for
it.
her.
I actually saw her at 777 Mall a couple weeks ago. Amongst a set, a bunch of people were playing at the Jolt Radio space.
That place should have won something, man. Like they should have been at the best of something. Like, they do a great job. Like,
yeah, I think it's changing. Somebody told me, probably could have mentioned this some other segment, but whatever. Somebody told me that 777 is starting to boot people and charge them rent, and so it's the end of an era to a certain extent. But Jolt still has their place, and are you just gonna do like a sound off now? Come on. Jolt still has their place there.
Come on, I'm saving your show here.
And Hills played there, and it was awesome. Hiltronics and Mr. Jolt on Friday at the corner. That one starts late. Get there late. It's not a happy hour thing.
What's that?
Okay.
The Hiltronic at the corner. Everything at the corner is way past my bedtime. And I mean
Me too.
way past my bedtime.
Well, sometimes you just got to get one of those hall passes.
No, when the old lady takes the kids out of town every once in a while, I think I'm going to buy an 8-ball and go hang out at the corner. And I just, even with that, I can't stay up that late.
yeah.
Those guys close at like 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm telling you.
All right. Interrupt me if you have a thing on one of the days that I'm talking about, okay?
Oh, hold on.
On Saturday, Oolite Arts, the former South Florida Arts Center, is having a brunch and film. It's called The Proposal at O Cinema in Miami Beach with a Q&A after the film. You buy the film ticket, and then you get a free brunch, too, at a restaurant that's right next to it or something like that.
Did O Cinema merge with Oolite?
No, you know what's going on with the Oolite.
Oolite wants to be a film thing. They want
Yes.
they want to ditch all the art stuff and they want to be film.
I don't know if I'd take it that far, but Oolite wants to be into films.
I heard
they're pushing films.
I heard
heavy.
the interview, yeah.
I went to the last. I don't know if it was organized by them, but I went to the last time the O Cinema brunch thing happened, and the brunch was pretty damn good, and the movie was all right, and the Q&A was kind of fun. I recommend it. This Saturday. Check that out. Also on Saturday, Monsieur Perrine from Colombia at the North Beach Bandshell, and it's free with an RSVP. This must be one of those acts that is Rhythm Foundation type of thing that is good, but you wouldn't know it because it's hard to know all these international acts when they come into town.
Rhythm Foundation's got their finger on the pulse.
Yeah, they
really do.
It's worth it. You should
and,
go.
and it's free with an RSVP.
Yeah.
And also, there's a place called Burgers and Shakes up the block, and I really like getting a burger and a shake there. And then I drive over to Happy Stork, and I have a couple drinks. All right.
And then you go to the corner.
Yeah. I was about to say, round it out.
Sunday is Father's Day, and that's a big day for you, right, Artie?
Yeah, I
Both
got.
Arties? Not yet. Just you.
No,
Artie.
I got several Rugrats I got to take care of.
Are they grateful Rugrats, or are they little punks?
Some of them, a lot of them are punks. It's all right. I love them all. I'm gonna take care of them. I got something. The Low Art Museum at the University of Miami in Coral Gables, fabulous Coral Gables, is going to have an opening on the 20th. One show is called Visions of Place, and it's contemporary Israeli artwork, and it deals a lot with what's going on in Gaza and the West Bank, and contemporary issues in Israel. And in the
Have you seen the work?
I'm handling the work.
How does it look? You like it then? You're
Actually, there's
recommending
some really cool stuff.
Okay.
Actually, there's some okay stuff, and there's some really great stuff. And then there's Billy Lynn is she's a faculty show in the side gallery, and she's doing a piece that's about institutionalized racism. I didn't get the name of her show, but it's really killer. We built a hoodie that's 25 foot tall, and it's empty. And there's an obelisk that's a mirrored obelisk that's about 17 feet long that spins on a crazy axis. It's wild.
Okay.
And there's a timeline.
That's at the Low?
That's at the Low Art Museum. It's one of the better shows they've had in many years.
When does it
There's
open?
2 different shows. The 20th.
The 20th. Awesome.
The 20th. And I think that's before our next show, if I'm not incorrect.
Okay. I have this next Saturday, Chucho Valdez at the North Beach Band Show.
Chucho Valdez. He's
Yes.
big.
Yeah. And you were talking about the Low Museum. I went to the Coral Gables Museum this past Saturday, and they have a great show. It's all textile based. If you're in Coral Gables and you're walking even close to that space, go check it out. It's a really good show. I really liked it. If you're not into art and you're not going to drive out there or whatever. But if you're walking around the neighborhood, go to the Coral Gables Museum, just pop in, walk into that back room, and then come back out. I'm telling you, it's worth it. It's worth your 15 minutes. All right. You have anything?
Tuesday, the 18th, the Corner Jazz Night. It's going to be Tal Cohen, Brian Tate, and myself on drums.
Okay.
That's all right.
Next week. All right.
Yeah, that's next week. I don't know how far your calendar is supposed to go.
It's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
You got a clip on your phone
Keep
that
it
we
going.
can get a little.
We don't have
taste.
We don't have anything recorded as a trio yet, but we have stuff individually. And Tal is a fantastic pianist. So we're gonna play a lot of original music and our own arrangements. We're getting together and putting up a great program.
Sick.
So yeah,
right.
We start at 11. Pass your bed.
Start at 11.
Start at 11.
I have not
I'll
been.
catch the morning replay.
I had to stop going because of work and, but I could eke one out maybe and go for the long haul on a
I'd go,
Tuesday.
but family's in town. I can't do blow when the family's in town.
We're not doing that, Artie.
No.
Not on Tuesday. That's the Friday.
Yeah.
Any other
That's
shows?
Tuesday. You got anything else? I don't have anything else until the following week.
That's fine. Tell me what it is.
Following Tuesday. So
What day? What's the actual day?
the 25th.
Okay. Oh, that's my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday! Maybe you want to come to the corner
25th
and
of
celebrate
June?
also.
The 25th of June.
25th of June.
Nice.
Chama. It's a project I play.
Yes, I
play
remember.
With, and two of my
Chama
best
like
friends.
Epa Chamo.
Eba Chama.
Ah.
Yeah. Exactly, and my two really good Venezuelan friends that live in New York, and they have a busy schedule. They're great musicians. They play a lot in New York, and they're flying down that whole week. So we're gonna play at the corner the 25th, same thing at 11, and we're gonna do also a video session the following day and recording session as well with them, and then that Saturday, it's kind of 2 weeks away, the 29th, we're going to play at this really cool venue in Little Haiti. It's called Center for Subtropical Affairs.
Oh yeah, I went to.
You've been there.
I went to see. I've been there a bunch of times, but I
Okay.
recently went to see Donzi there. Actually, it was a great show.
So
It's a cool little spot. It's like an intimate little setup. It's nice.
It's called like an ecological center of enrichment, something
Yeah.
like that. So I'm excited to play there and visit it for the first time.
Oh, it's a great place, and the lighting's really nice for the band and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You get this little wooden stage, and
You
it's
guys
like
going to
a
play some metal there?
walkway.
No, we're gonna play some
Bachata?
avant-garde folk music.
All
or something
right.
like that. Yeah, like it's a trio. It's guitar, violin, and drums. Instrumental.
Don't look at him.
You're
What's
like,
that
no,
reaction?
I'm all
What's
for it.
that
I'm-
You're not
reaction?
gonna come.
I'm
You're
trying to
not gonna
figure out how metal is going to fit
But
in.
we get pretty metal. We turn up. Yeah, it's not all
Nice.
like
Nice.
violini.
All right,
Yeah,
so-
that's gonna be the 29th.
All right, keep that on the radar.
9 p.m. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's your calendar for the week. I haven't said this the whole show, but I should have at least at some point. It's Wednesday, June 12th, 2019. You're listening to Jolt Radio. This is Nothing's Going On in Miami, episode 11. I'm here with Artie and Arturo.
Yes.
What was it?
Miami.
Arthur and Arturo? There you go. Arthur
We'll
and
figure it
Arturo.
out.
Figure it out.
And I want to thank you guys for being here. We're about to finish, but I skipped over one thing that I wanted to talk about real quick.
Here we go.
Openings and closings.
I think I did an opening, which was the Low Art Museum is going to open the 20th.
I mean, like establishments that are opening or shutting down. So I got Soika closed.
What?
Yeah, did you know that? Or
No.
Yeah, Soika.
Never been there.
The restaurant.
Oh yeah.
So it closed. They're somebody bought it and they're remodeling it and going to turn it into something else. So the space isn't closing completely, but the actual what was Soika is over and done with. If you know, a long time Miami staple, and now it's gone. I was looking at these lists of what's opening, what's closing, whatever, and I look at this thing. It says Gramps 2. Gramps 2 is opening.
Where?
I asked around because I didn't have any info. Apparently, it's going to be on Northwest 2nd and 53rd. So a couple blocks from Churchill, but to the west.
Okay.
And that's kind of up in the air, but I thought it was funny that they're going to open a Gramps 2. Gramps is the place that still holds it down from the original Wynwood days, you know, before it became, I don't know, like the new kind of Miami Beach type of vibe that it became. And it's going to be nice to have a Gramps that's not in Wynwood, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're great for music. That's a good venue, too.
Yeah.
They're really supportive of music. And the only thing that kind of, to me, is a little off-putting is the whole Wynwood around it, because it gets so, you know, Wynwood is just messy.
Am I the only one to say Wynwood blows?
Well, yeah,
It blows.
for the most part,
It blows. You can't park. You can't walk. It's like it's turning into a gangster scene. You know, it's everything we hate about Miami.
You're such an old funny duddy, dude.
Nah, give me a break, bro. The last time I was in Wynwood,
Wynwood has turned into like a mid-90s Coconut Grove.
worse, man. And I was partying in the '90s in Coconut Grove, and
That died out.
it was cool back then.
Yeah,
but,
sure it
you
was.
know,
You're just like these Wynwood kids.
yeah, no, give me a break.
The restaurant Booyah is going to the Falls. If you've ever eaten there, it's a pretty good restaurant in the Gables. They're going to open up in the Falls for all you. For you, really, I'm talking to West Kendallites.
Do they have geriatric parking? Get the hell out of here.
And Mr. 01, the pizza place, is going to open at the new Coco Walk whenever that opens.
Hey, that pizza
I
joint
hate that thing, too.
that I'm always pumping, those guys who are like tied to the 1301 Club, or is that a thing? Right.
It's called
It's called something.
1306.
1306.
that
Those
what it is?
guys
Yeah.
who got the pizza joint, I was told, I got a call that said, hey, you're pumping our joint and you don't know the name of it. And I said, yeah, it's a great pizza restaurant and I don't know the name of it. They said, well, we've got a name. And I said, what is it? I never heard it.
They didn't tell you the name. You didn't hear it? What do you mean?
I heard the name third hand, and it's nothing I can remember, but it's a great pizza joint.
I'll tell you, I should have said this on Off the Cuff. I went to 1306 to see
Did you
some
go
bands,
next door and get a pizza?
to see the Highlight album release party. Highlight's another band. I think they just released an album, Highlight. And I go to the show. It's at 1306. I'm all excited that there's going to be pizza because there's a pizza place in the venue. There's no pizza. The guy didn't open the pizza place during the huge show. The show was packed. The band did awesome. It was big, lights, everything. No pizza.
Jesus
What a
Christ.
missed opportunity. I was there to eat the pizza
I got the guy's number. I'm going to call him.
first and then watch the band
It's like
second.
going to Gramps
And
no,
they have
no
pizza
they have
always.
pizza,
yeah. When you want, I mean,
These guys, you know, Miami, we want to be a real town. We gotta figure this stuff
there's
out.
pizza out here,
Gotta get some
please.
For Christ's sake, if you got a
slices.
bar next door playing gigs, you gotta have pizza.
All right. Okay. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about?
All right, Miami.
I think we've covered it.
I think we got it, right, for this week? I want to thank you guys for being here.
All right.
Thanks,
Thanks,
for having us.
Arturo, Cave of Swimmers. Awesome. He's working on some new stuff. He's going to be playing all those shows.
Oh wait,
Rewind this
quick
thing.
question.
Yes.
What's with the name Cave of Swimmers? I mean,
Oh.
that's a serious name, right?
It is a good name.
Did you swim in the cave?
Cave of Swimmers, I think we all did before we were born. So there you go.
Oh, gotcha.
There you go.
I'm trying to get back into that cave and swim in there.
All right. I want to thank Joel for having us always. I want to remind you guys to check out nothingsgoingon.com. Subscribe there, and you can get this thing on a podcast and whatever, and listen to it whenever you want, and in great audio quality and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And
Pick it up on your phone.
You can rewind the calendar and hear everything we said, so you don't miss any of these cool shows. And we'll be back in 2 weeks. Say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys. Hey, Miami.
You're on fire.
Stay dry, baby.
Hasta luego.
All right, bye.